Hey everyone, this is Adam and you're watching Adam Knows. In today's video, we will do a walkthrough of setting up WordPress and WooCommerce on a hosting site. This will include installing WordPress software to the server. Then we will install WooCommerce onto WordPress, followed by necessary plugins I recommend to assist you in allowing your site to grow, followed by installing a theme to give it a professional look. The website we are creating is going to be my sporting goods website called thehuntsmanofficial.com, which will basically involve camping, hunting, air rifles, crossbows, those type of products, and knives. With that said, we are starting here at what's called the control panel or cPanel. For many of the hosting companies you will sign up with, this is the first thing you will see in setting up your website after you have obtained your domain name, which should be given to you free by your hosting server. Your cPanel is literally the control panel for your hosting space. From here, you can set up how your domain will work, adding subdomain sites, activating and creating email accounts, and more. Today, though, we're going to concentrate on setting up WordPress. So with that said, in your cPanel, you will see an area for software. And when you get to that section, app installer instead of software. It depends on who you're using. Some places will call it software, some places will call it apps. My service that I offer, it calls it apps. Yours may call it software, I believe, such as GoDaddy and such as HostGator, Bluehost will call it software. So we're going to go there and select WordPress to install. As you can see, there are different options of different types of software based upon what you want to do. But in this case, we're going to stick with WordPress. Now, when you get to your WordPress app or software installation, its appearance may vary, but all of the controls are still the same. So there's going to be an Install Now button, which is what we're going to select. So regardless of where it's at on your screen, you'll find the Install Now button and click on it. And when you go to Software Setup, the first thing it's going to ask you is what version of WordPress do you want to install. You're always going to want to choose the most recent copy. In this case, what we're doing today is 5.3.2. Next, it's going to choose the URL to install the software, which is the domain name we created. Now, you should have encryption with your hosting company. Most places will give it to you for free or charge you. If you have questions about who you're deciding to use, let me know, and I'll show you where to go, even to get a free one if the hosting site you have doesn't offer it. So it should always be HTTPS as your protocol, and I recommend using the www dot. Some people don't, some people do. In this case, I do. And you'll choose your domain name if it's not there already. In this case, it's already set up, which is thehuntsmanofficial.com. Now, if you have space after that and it shows something like WP, you're going to want to delete that. If you don't, it's going to cause you troubles down the line when creating your website, because then anytime someone goes to your website, it has to show as www.whatever.com/ whatever's after that. So you want to make sure there's nothing following that. Now, under site settings, you're going to enter the name of your website. In this case, the Huntsman Official. And the site description. I'm going to start off with sporting, hunting, and more. And you're going to set up a username and password. Now, even though I'm using admin, I recommend you actually give it a username. I don't mind using admin. And you'll give your site a password. And you'll plugins, you can skip plugins. Make sure the language is the language for what you know. You'll pass everything else, especially the themes, because there's better themes once you get onto WordPress, or you can buy one. And then you're going to click install. Then it'll do the rest, and then when it's complete, it'll let you know the software was installed successfully. And from here, you can go to your administrative URL. And now WordPress is installed onto your server, and you're ready to build a website. Okay, now that we have WordPress installed onto the server, we need to configure it to suit our e-commerce needs. But first, let's take a look at the WordPress layout itself. On the left-hand side, you have your menu for different features and functions. The page that we're on right now is the dashboard, which you can configure to show important information once you have everything set up, such as statistics, sales logs, messages, or review of comments and reviews from customers. Over here, posts is for creating blog pages on your page if you choose to create them on your site. Media and the library is where you store all of your images, music, video files, PDFs, all of that stored there or uploaded through there. Your pages is where you can create and edit the actual pages for your website using a website editor, which we will be installing later on in this video. Comments, again, is where you can view customer comments and reviews on your page if you choose to do so. Appearance. This is where we will customize the layout of the website, including adding a theme, making changes to that theme, modifying it to our needs, utilizing widgets, creating menus, and more. Plugins is where we will manage and install new modules for the website to give it new abilities and tools. And we're going to spend a little bit of time on there in this video. Tools, we're skipping users for now because you're the user. Tools are literally just that, different features and tools to help you create your site, change features, or to add new features and abilities. Settings is where you can adjust the base settings and features of a website when needed. Now, as we install more features, this menu will increase in size. Well, with that said, let's install more features, starting with the most important one for our e-commerce site, which is WooCommerce. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to plugins, and we're going to add a new plugin. Now from here, you have a library of a variety of plugins to be used. And the first one we're going to install is WooCommerce. So in the search box at the top, we'll go ahead and type in WooCommerce. And as you can see, we have the WooCommerce plugin that we're going to install. So with that said, you'll just click install, and then once it's installed, it'll ask you to activate it. You'll click on activate. Now, right here is the setup wizard for WooCommerce. It's going to ask you questions to help you set up for selling, such as here your business address and what country you're in. That'll determine what type of money you're using. In this case, we're in the United States, so we're using dollars. So we'll select United States. Then I'll enter, in this case, I'm entering the company address and what type of currency you accept payments in. Of course, the US dollar, we'll leave that as it is. What type of products do you plan to sell? We are selling physical products, so that's what I'll select. Now, if you're in a physical store, you can also check off I will be selling products or services in person as well. With that said, then you'll hit let's go. I always continue. I never hit this for tracking. The less people monitoring, keeping records of what you do, the better, is my opinion. So we'll hit continue.
Now, payment is asking you what type of payment you're going to accept. So if you're accepting Stripe or PayPal, you'll select one of these. We're not. Most of you will probably use PayPal to start off with. I don't use PayPal. I'm going to add in a plugin for the payment that I use. So I'm going to skip this. But like I said, if you're using PayPal, you'd enter in your PayPal email address. If you're entering in Stripe, you would set up, you would put in the instructions. Well, let me say that again. You will put in the email address for where to send the instructions for setting up your existing Stripe account or new Stripe account to your account. But like I said, I'm not doing either one of those, so we're going to continue. Now, because you're drop shipping, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be doing free shipping. So you'll go ahead and select free shipping in both zones, the United States and in other areas, if you choose to do so. If you're not planning on doing any type of drop shipping outside of the United States, you'll uncheck this box. And then how everything is weighed, you can use ounces, pounds, grams, kilograms. I'm going to select pounds because I'm selling larger items, and inches for product dimensions when everything is measured out. So when they're looking for shipping information as far as the weight and dimensions, it'll be measured in pounds and inches. So we'll hit continue. Now it's sending recommended plugins to use. I always keep automated taxes because it automatically keeps record of what the taxes are in several states, since now you have to collect taxes in various states. I don't use WooCommerce admin. MailChimp we're going to go into in another video. I don't use it, but I know a lot of people do. It has its advantages. I'm just not one of those people that use it, but we'll go into it in a later video. And then Facebook. The Facebook plugin is actually very nice because when you create a business page for your business on Facebook, this will sync all of your products to your Facebook store. Not only that, it'll give you the chat capability where people can leave messages at any time and you can respond to them through your Facebook Messenger. So we're going to continue with the automated taxes in Facebook and continue. It's going to automatically install those for us. Connect your store to Jetpack. A lot of people like Jetpack. I do not recommend Jetpack because it is a resource hog and it can slow down your website. There are other tools that you can use to keep track of your website. So we're going to skip this step. Well, no, actually in this case, because you guys want to use the automated taxes, we're going to use the Jetpack, so we'll use it this time. It'll help you. We'll just set up something in the plugin so it won't slow you down too much. Now with that, you have to sign in or set up an account. I already have an account that I used to use. And it is running slow for some reason. We may have to just skip this part and come back to it later. Oh, okay, there it goes, connected. So now, like I said, has your menu changes over here. Now you'll see Jetpack over here installed, and then you'll see WooCommerce here in the menu section as well with its sub-menu. Now, the next thing we're going to do is install some more plugins that I feel that are necessary to make your website work at optimal performance. The first one is called Smush. This is an image compressing program. It compresses and optimizes your images so they don't take forever to load. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Here we go. This photo that I would add onto my site, on my computer site for example, the size of this photo file is 1.8 megabytes. You have to remember when you're putting these photos onto your website, as big as the photos are, it's going to take a while for a person on the other side of the internet going to your website to load this photo onto your page. You don't want them taking 2-3 minutes to load a 2 meg, 3 meg, 4 meg quality photo. So with Smush, it will compress that picture down to its smallest file it can to make it easier to load. So we're going to select, and here's Smush, so we'll install that. Now some other plugins we install that I put on my websites: Hummingbird, which will help optimize and speed up the site. It will minimize a lot of coding on your website to allow your page to load faster. The faster your page can load, the better for you. You don't want a customer waiting more than 10 seconds for a page on your website to load, because then they can lose interest and leave it alone. There's nothing more annoying than waiting forever for a page to load up. So another plugin that we install is Hummingbird. Go down farther. Smart Crawl, WordPress SEO Checker, Analyzer, and Optimizer. What this does, actually it does several things. One, it creates an XML roadmap of your website. What that is, it tells search engines that you're there and what pages that you have on your website. Without it, Google, Yahoo, Bing, they won't know what's on your website. They won't know what to look for. This also allows you to set up your keywords, meta tags, and description titles for search engines. What I mean is, for example, let's go to Google. For example, when I pulled up my search engine on one of my sites, Raptor Tech Audio Systems, you see this description here. It allows you to enter in your site description for the search engines to find you. As well as the keywords needed so customers can find you. So that's another feature we will install. And Beehive Analytics. What this does, it allows you to track the performance of your website through Google. You definitely want to do that, especially if you're running ads through Google, or to be able to use Google's features such as their analytics, keyword checker, and test the performance of your page. Now some other apps, and this will be determined if you use this payment processor or not. I install Klarna Checkout to my website. That is the payment service provider that I use. They make a plugin for WooCommerce WordPress, so I can take payments on the site. As well as another tool for it, order management. If you're not using Klarna, if you're using PayPal, you already use what's already there, so you won't have any problems. So now we'll go to installed plugins. And we will activate those that we didn't activate already. So Hello Dolly, Hummingbird. We're not going to activate Klarna right now. Smart Crawl and Smush. Since we've checked all those off, we'll go to Bulk Actions and select Activate and Apply. Now as you see over here, the menu has expanded even farther with the options of all the plugins that we've just installed. We're going to come back to those a little bit later Actually, that'll be in the next video as far as setting up the website later on after we've added products. So now that we've had all of the plugins that I need for this website and the ones that I recommend for you to use, we now have to select a theme or a layout for the site. So what we're going to do is go to Appearance and Themes. Let's click that again. Now it comes already installed with some basic themes that you can use for e-commerce, but you'll want to get a little bit better appearance with your site. I'm going to show you some example themes that you can add that are free. So when we go to here to the library that's offered by WooCommerce, it'll offer you a variety of different themes to use for your website. We're going to make it a little bit more specific and use the feature filter, and we're looking for e-commerce based themes. So we'll apply, and now it'll show you e-commerce specific websites. Now for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use something simple, Store Commerce. So I'll click on that to install. And now that's installed, we'll go ahead and activate. And now you'll see that our theme is activated. Now, as it shows you here, new theme activated, visit site. Now, this is the theme that's added. Now, we do have to customize it and change it to our needs. So, once we're here, we will go to Customize. And this will send you to the Theme Customization panel. Now, here, on the left is your menu options that you can change. So for example, theme options. You have different options here such as styling, blog management, which we won't be using, footer, social link, and top bar address. So we'll go to styling options first. That basically allows you to choose the color theme of the site. This is using a somewhat mint green. I'm not too crazy about that, so we'll change the color to more of a hunter's green, which is that darker green to go with a huntsman theme. We'll go back. Now footer social link, at the bottom, it will show icons for different social media. So if I put in, and I'm just using this as an example, what is the name of one of my sites? But let's go back to the customize. Top bar address allows you to enter in some information such as your email, sales at thehuntsmanofficial.com. As you can see, it appeared here at top. And phone number. As we can see here, it's added at the top. And see, that's what was supposed to have happened with the icons at the bottom. It's probably a glitch in the theme I'll have to go back and fix, but no problem. Well, anyway, we're going to go out of theme options, site identity. Oops, wrong one. And title that we entered in back at the WordPress installation setup, the Huntsman Official, sporting, hunting, and more. As you can see, that's showing already at the top. Colors, Again, we're going to change the header color towards that green we were talking about that I preferred. There we go. So you see how the title changed to the darker green. Let's see if we can change the background color to something. No, we don't want to do that, I don't think. Let's see. No, we don't want to do that. So we'll leave that as it is. Header image, this background image that we see, we don't want to add that picture because this is a hunting picture. So let me find a quick Now the picture I'm going to add on here is not one that I'm keeping, I'm just using it as an example. So I'm going to click on add image, and then I'm going to drag a photo into there, which is stored into the library. Select and crop, we'll choose the image that we want. We'll crop the image so it'll fit in there. Crop. And there we go. That's not what I wanted, but let's fix that again. It's too big, but for the sake, educational sake, we're going to stick with it. But just so you get an idea. Background image is the image that would show here in the actual body of the website. We're not going to do that. I don't recommend doing that because it makes it harder to read your text and see your pictures a lot of time. Menus, we're going to create the menus in a moment. We haven't created any pages or added any products yet to create a menu. So that will go into the next video because the video regarding the products is going to be that much longer of a video than this one is because there's a lot to cover when you're putting in products, and there's several ways you can put in products, whether individually manually or uploading them all at once using a data spreadsheet or a data feed. Widgets, also something we're going to add later on because we haven't added products yet or their attributes or specifications or filters to add any widgets to begin with. So with that said, we're going to leave the page as it is, and we'll click Publish to save, and then go out of here. Now basically we have to add content. And in the next video, I'm going to go to the screen right now, but in the next video, we will start adding product two different ways. The first way is by manually creating a product and adding it to here. And when I say manually, that means we're going to go in and enter in the product name, enter in the body description of the item, and then set up the price, put in the shipping information as far as weight, dimensions, attributes being features. So for example, if we were putting in a air rifle, an attribute is a brand. So the brand name is an attribute. The length of the gun is an attribute that we can use. The warranty is an attribute. The color is an attribute. The size is an attribute. Anything that describes the gun can be set up as an attribute. And then there's two different types of attributes. One is a standard attribute, and then the second is a global attribute. Let me pull up a new site that I'm working on right now to give you an idea. Because this one uses a lot of attributes and filters because there's so many items. So this is a site I'm working on right now. I'm almost finished with it. It's called organicbounty.store. It is an organic grocery store website, sells organic foods, snacks. Big thing is the snack bars. But let's get to a category so you can see the attributes. Now what you see here is the first attribute, which is brand, and it shows all of the brands of the products available. And yes, that's a long attribute list because that's showing everything. We're not in one specific category. That brand list shortens when we go to a specific category. In this case, if we go to groceries and let's choose snacks for an example. Now that we've chosen snacks, we'll go into a farther subcategory such as what's popular? Nutrition bars, the Cliff bars, the Rex bars, all of that stuff. Now as you see, that brand, even though it's still long, it's gotten much shorter. So for example, the brand is an attribute, in this case a global attribute because it applies to everything. And then when we click on a specific product, we'll use Betty Lou's apricot fruit bars, for example. Oh, I'm surprised this one does not have an attribute, so let's go back. Oh, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't use this site yet because I haven't finished uploading that theme yet. Well, finishing the theme. Let's use my pet supply store. This site I still have to, like I said, I'm almost finished with it. That's why the attributes aren't showing yet. But the attributes are definitely working here. So weight, dimensions, its subcategory, brand, UPC code, size, and the ingredients. So in the next video, we will be going over that. Now, if you got any questions about anything we went over today, just ask them below or hit my email, adamknows@raptortechcompanies.com. I apologize for the lateness of this video. This has been a hectic week. I started off my Wednesday about to do this video, but I got in a $6,000 computer order and that took me all day to complete. So I do apologize for the lateness of this video. I will have the second one up on time this Wednesday because, as a matter of fact, I'm creating the video tonight to upload. So again, if you got any questions, ask at the bottom. If you got to shoot me a message, adamknows@raptortechcompanies.com. You'll see it in the description below. I hope this wasn't too boring for you to get through. That's why I try to make them short and not too long. So until next Wednesday, take care. If you liked, hit like. If you didn't, hit dislike.